Before you jump into the video, be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. Alright guys, what's going on? Air Raid Lord is here with my first batch of Season 9 vlogs for The Walking Dead, which I know is pretty crazy to say, considering it feels like Season 8 only ended a few weeks ago. So, crazy that we're already getting Season 9 material, but they are filming Season 9 currently, and some interesting photos have come out that I want to go through with you guys right now. And they're pretty detailed. They're not actually just, some photos of the set. There were some of those, and I think it's good to go into detail about some of them, but at the same time, we had a bit of diversity. So, I'm going to put these up on the screen, full screen for you guys. I mean, they were really cool. So, I mean, we have Michonne on a horse right here, and you can see Tara in the background and Jesus with a ponytail and beard, which is pretty interesting. And then we got Rick and Michonne side by side, and Rick has a considerably different haircut. He's got the beard, but then he's also got this really short hair. Now, I don't know, I'm going to have to double check. I'm not sure if he had that same short hair when we were looking at Carl's dream, because remember, we originally thought that those flash forward sequences were exactly that. We thought that they were flash forward sequences to when Rick wins the war afterwards and there's a time skip. So now that we know that those were just Carl's dreams, now we're getting photos of what this future is actually going to look like, and it looks like it's somewhat around that vicinity. Rick doesn't seem to have a cane with him. I'm not sure if the cane was just a nod to the fact that Rick gets his leg broken in the comic book. Not entirely sure about that. So pretty interesting that we get to see this image of Rick on the horses, because I mean, think about it. I mean, with all the years that must have gone by, fossil fuels and oils probably didn't have much use for cars. I mean, I think Season 8's like the last season of really using vehicles. I mean, we had that chase scene in Season 8 between Rick and Negan, where Rick T-bones Negan's car, and we had the explosion with the RV, where they drive the RV in. They have all those cars with the metal armor on it. So a lot of vehicle usage in last season, and I think that was kind of the last season of it. I think now it's onto medieval times, where now fossil fuels are going away and horses are really your next mode of transportation. And this next photo here, again, these photos came from Instagram, so they had to be kind of sized a certain way. So we see horses now carrying cargo, like horse-drawn buggies, which is very interesting. So we have Rosita in this photo, we have Maggie, we have Sadiq, and then we have Sydney, which is very interesting. It looks like the Oceanside is officially part of relations going on with the communities. That's pretty cool. Of course, the horse's ass is literally blocking Maggie's stomach, so we don't know how pregnant she is or if she's already given birth to her child. So the highly debated topic must remain unknown and anonymous for some time yet. This next image, again, I feel like I'm looking at an image from like 1876 here. We got Father Gabriel with a top hat. Literally, he raided William's wardrobe from Westworld. And we have Jadis right next to him with a new hairstyle, leaving her hair long and wavy, with a kind of blouse flannel, and just she's directing the horses. She's on this horse buggy, and she looks like she, much like Sydney, is an official part of things happening in Rick's new world, and that's awesome. It's awesome that Jadis was the only person from her group to survive. None of the other people obviously did. All the scavengers were killed, so she's the only one that carries that with her. But I'm interested to see if she mentions anything about the helicopter. Like, we still don't know what was going on with that, because we saw the helicopter when Rick saw it, and then Simon mentions that there's helipads and solar panels in back. And then the episode where Negan's captured there, she's trying to wave the flare, the helicopter's waiting, and then the helicopter thinks that she's not there, and then it goes away, and Jadis is yelling for it to come back. So obviously she has knowledge of what that helicopter was doing in the relations. in my opinion, I think the most logical explanation is that the scavengers probably had a deal with this wherever this group is from with the helicopter, much like she tried to make a group with Rick's deal in season 7, Negan in season 8, Rick in season 8. They probably made some sort of deal, and that was based off of some sort of trade, perhaps, so that they could get reinforcements or food, resources, stuff like that. So I'm interested to see if that comes into play at all. But it seems like Jadis is fully assimilated. It's interesting. I'm gonna be interested to see how Rick treats her now that they've put all of their past behind them. Jadis/Anne shooting Rick, betraying him. She was almost the reason why Carl died and they lost that battle in the season 7 finale. If it wasn't for Ezekiel's forces and Maggie's forces, then Rick would have been completely screwed. So she definitely didn't treat Rick that nicely in the past, but it looks like they're going to put that behind them. As Morgan said in the season 8 finale, that she was definitely allowed to return to the community, so that's great. And then this next photo, Carol wearing the freaking summer hat here. It's nice. She's still dressed in her kingdom armor. She's got some shorter attire on. We're riding a horse as well, but still wearing the padded armor of the kingdom. So still remembering the people that saved her when she was shot at the end of season 6. So it'll be interesting to see if she makes any type of relationship with Ezekiel. Who knows? I would love for that to happen. Carol and Daryl are two characters who have really stayed outside of the realm of romance. I mean, ever since Carol's husband was killed way back in season 1, and Daryl's never had a romantic interest, except maybe Beth, sort of. I mean, there were some times when those sparks were flying, but obviously her death kind of ended Beth. The death ended Beth, so I don't know. We'll never know what could have been, so... So let's see, what else is there to look at? Those were the photos for the close-ups, the cameos of the group. And then there were some other photos that I came across where there's like the interiors of like Capitol buildings and some downtown district areas. That seems to be where this was filmed. Like there's this convoy, and we have Aaron, Jesus, Tara, Rosita, Sadiq, Sydney, Ezekiel, Michonne, Rick, Carol, like literally almost every one of our A-list characters. That's just about everybody, isn't it? I mean, maybe except Judith and some of the others, I guess, because, I mean, Morgan's not in it anymore. I mean, it's interesting because I am following Fear the Walking Dead. Some people were wondering. I am following Fear the Walking Dead, if not just to see what happens with Morgan. Like, what's Morgan's fate? Because I thought that Fear the Walking Dead was going to do like a flashback, like Morgan way in the past dealing with the Fear group, but that's not the case. This is after the events of All Out War. He runs away and is trying to psychologically put himself together. So now he's all the way out west in Texas trying to help Madison deal with this group of vulture-ish, kind of almost like the Saviors, but they're like scavengers and saviors mixed, kind of, in this Fear the Walking Dead group. I won't get too much into that, but I'm going to basically watch the rest of Season 4 just to see where they take Morgan's character. I mean, I hope they don't kill him off in Season 4. I mean, it would be stupid to bring him on the same season they kill him off. But yeah, I'm just interested. Is his ultimate fate going to be decided on Fear the Walking Dead? Will he eventually transition back to the East and maybe bring some of the characters from Fear the Walking Dead back East? Because, I mean, I don't want to get into spoilers, but they just had a major character death in Fear the Walking Dead. Apparently because the actor wanted off the show, but Fear the Walking Dead's been losing a lot of its main characters. I believe in Season 3 they also killed off a main character. So, Fear the Walking Dead is slowly changing its crew. Like, now you're getting these new characters, Morgan being one of them, so it's going to be a very different sphere of stuff going on. I mean, Fear the Walking Dead's into Season 4. I mean, how many seasons of this show are they really going to have? You got to think about that. The Walking Dead's into its 9th season, but that's only because it's following a comic book storyline that it hasn't caught up to yet. Fear the Walking Dead is just being created on the spot, on the fly, and they made such a radical change from Season 3 to Season 4. Season 3 was all the way in the past, and now all of this time has passed. They got into this baseball stadium and made a civilization, sort of, and I mean, again, I don't want to go too much into Fear the Walking Dead here, but I was just going to say, Morgan's obviously not here in this group of all these photos. And again, I'm interested because it looks like there are some new characters, and in these photos, we don't know who they are. I don't know if there's been casting calls or actors. I'm on the lookout for actors that could be Magna or any of the Whisperers, any of the villains. So it's cool. It's cool to finally be in some new territory, because this is where The Walking Dead can really get creative now that all-out war and the war with the Saviors is officially done. There's room for some very interesting creative license here, and especially with the new showrunner Angela Kang at the helm. I don't know. I just feel like this is the perfect time to revamp the series. The Walking Dead in its storyline is being revamped, with society trying to rebuild and really make a civilization, that Key to the Future book that Maggie got, and trying to put all of that to work, basically, to see what civilization can be. And this, at the same time, we have a new showrunner, so new showrunner for new version of the show. So I just think it lined up very nicely. And I know Scott Gimple still has some authoritarian power. I think he's just the overseer of the franchise. I think he's the showrunner for season 4, but I mean, he loves Morgan's character, so I guess that kind of makes sense. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now. I don't know what to make of these downtown photos. I'm hoping they go to Washington, D.C., like Virginia, because they're still in Virginia, obviously. That's where all these events have been taking place. I mean, they've been there since episode 9 of season 5, and then they got to Alexandria in episode 12. So they've been season 5, 6, 7, 8, and so now, 4-ish, 5 seasons of being in Virginia. That's about half the show. I mean, the first half was in the Atlanta area with the prison and Terminus and the farm, and so now you're getting a different locale. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. These are some really cool photos. I'm glad I could snag these. I think these just came out today, so I'm pretty glad that I was able to rush this video together and get them out to you guys. So yeah, I'm going to try to, I mean, this is a new intro, as you saw, for Season 9. I don't have any footage yet to really make like some montage of clips for Season 9, because there's no footage of it yet. There's just these photos. I usually take that footage from the trailer or something and put it together. Just like, remember the All Out War intro where it was like, get ready for war, and had all those explosions and things going on. And, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see if I can do that again. But, I mean, Season 9 is going to be new. It's going to be low-key. It's going to be the start of civilization. So maybe I'll just keep this intro where it's just the comment, rate, and subscribe, because we've officially moved out of the Negan being the villain. I mean, Negan was the villain for, that last part of season 6 into 7 and now 8, so what, just about 2.5 seasons. So that's a long time as a main villain. So now we're gonna get some new stuff, so hopefully they don't linger, because I mean, right now there's no villain other than the lingering animosity between Maggie and Rick because of Rick's decision to not kill Negan. We don't really have any other like confrontational storylines. Last year at this time, everyone was expecting the giant war, the 100th episode, and shit to really go down. As Negan said, sounds like shit is going down, Rick. So, but now it's peace. It's complete peace, and you don't want people to be bored. I mean, they can only take so much of seeing, oh, let's look at the aqueduct and let's look at the windmill. Like, you don't want to bore people. So, hopefully, new characters can revamp that a bit. Hopefully, new dynamics between characters, maybe Maggie's new baby, maybe Judith being older and being able to, that's a huge wild card for me. If Judith is like kind of like teenage, 10-year-old range, how old Henry is, because again, I'm thinking one of them has to be involved with the Lydia part of the Whisperer storyline, but I'm going to reserve that for another video. I think it deserves it, really. So yeah, that's all for me. I appreciate you guys watching this video and looking through the photos with me. I'll try to have more Season 9 content. I will say I did get this information from The Spoiling Dead. I think it trickled through, and then comicbook.com picked it up, which is a big... They do a lot of stories on The Walking Dead. I know I've announced my disdain for The Spoiling Dead because of things that they've spoiled, but I think they've put a lid on it, I will say, for Season 8 especially. Maybe not so much in the first half, but for the second half, looking through their page, I didn't see any spoilers. They mainly kept it contained to their forums, which I'm banned from, which is fantastic. I don't have any intention of going there anyways, so okay. But I guess someone must have watched my video where I was yelling about them and they banned my ISP or some crap. But Yeah, I mean, I'll give them props that the second half of season 8 they kept a lid on it. So, I mean, the cast photos are fun as long as there's not big spoilers with them. The cast photos are fun, and I guess you could say these photos are kind of spoilery because you get to see what these characters look like after a time jump, because we don't even know what the time jump's going to be. Is it 2 years, 5 years? Like, this matters. So we'll see. But on that note, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, if there's any other topics or anything, any news, just let me know, and I'll jump right on it for season 9. Speculation as we move towards, I guess, this summer when the trailer will be coming out for season 9. It's crazy. I feel like season 8 just ended, and I'm in the middle of watching season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead, primarily to see where Morgan ends up. Because I love Morgan's character. Obviously, been following him since the very first episode of the original Walking Dead. So I'd like to see what happens with him. So yeah, that's the video, guys. Thanks. See you later.